Today's project involves putting auxiliary backup lights on my 2006 Ford F-150. I've already installed an aftermarket backup camera just above the rear license plate. This is an actual photo of my attempt to hook up to a trailer at night. At issue is how difficult it is to see the trailer receptacle. It needs more light than my stock truck lights can provide. Hopefully a solution can be found by installing these Ironton 1050 lumen LEDs on either side of the trailer hitch. Ironton is not a sponsor, and I'm not endorsing this product. Included in this kit are two LED lights and two stainless steel adjustable brackets. No instructions were included. The brackets have this long threaded bolt, a lock washer, and nut. The bolt and nut are 11 millimeters, and the mounting bolt requires a 1/2-inch wrench. Mount the brackets to the lights in the following manner. The wiring bundle is held in place with a wire tie. Cutting the tie reveals that the factory length of the wiring is only about 18 inches. This will have to be remedied by soldering wiring extensions to each light. Two black wires and two red wires were cut to approximate 4-foot lengths each. This weighted set of helping hands with clips and magnifying glass with lights assist in this next step. I attached the wires coming off one of the lights into one of the holding clips in preparation for tinning the wire ends. Now, tinning is the process of preparing the ends of the wires by heating and applying solder. This process assists in attachment of these wires to the extensions. The first LED has been tinned and swapped out with the second LED. Here, the first extension is clipped in place after the end of the wire was stripped. The extension wire is tinned. With gloves in place, the extension is repositioned where the ends overlap, and then the solder is heated until both parts melt together. Repeat this process for the black extension. Slide a small piece of shrink wrap over the unattached end of the extension and using a heat source, shrink it in place over the exposed wiring. Repeat for both sides. Here you can see all 4 extensions have been added. Displayed here are the pieces and parts we will need for the installation, including, of course, a drill and protective glasses. These small wrenches will be used to remove the taillight lenses and used for tightening the brackets on our new LEDs. I picked a mounting location near the end of my trailer hitch on the truck. Drilling near the edge affords me the ability to get to the nut on the new lights with my wrench and allows for easy aiming of the light beam. Because I drilled through steel, I want to immediately apply a coat of paint all the way around the drilled area to avoid rust. This process was repeated on the left side. Two 8mm bolts hold the rear lens in place. These were removed. Grasping the lens near the top and bottom, pull it straight backwards. Note the position of the alignment pins for reassembly. The backup light bulb contains the wiring of which we want to tap into. We want our new lights to come on when we shift into reverse. This bulb is removed by turning the housing counterclockwise. Our right side LED light is temporarily mounted using the hole we freshly drilled into the trailer hitch. I was able to route the two wires behind the bumper and up through an opening I saw where the rear taillight lens was removed. Using a spring-loaded claw I purchased for $1, I reached down into the lens cavity opening from the top to fish out the two wires we just pushed up from the bottom. Note also that the brake light has been removed from the lens assembly so that the lens can be moved out of the way. We're going to need to test which one of the wires coming off the backup light is hot and which one is ground. To do this, we need a homemade tester. This tester is built using a 12-volt bulb with one wire soldered to the side and one to the bottom tip. Additionally, straight pins have been soldered to the tips of each wire, allowing us to be able to tap into existing wiring for testing. Wire tied the assembly to a small block of wood, and there you have it. The test light will illuminate with the pins touching either side of the hot or ground of a circuit, but this won't do, as we need to know exactly which wire specifically is hot. Now I can guess that the striped wire is the hot since the other is black, but let's test it to be sure. With the parking brake set, the ignition switch on but not cranked, and the shifter in reverse, this causes the backup light to illuminate. I pressed one of the straight pins into the striped wire, and I'm touching the other pin to an unpainted metal surface on the truck, and voila! We now know the striped wire is hot, and we will tap into it with our red LED wire. To tap into existing wires, I'm going to use a suitcase connector, and this is how they work. Inside the connector is space for two wires side by side with a metal cutter on top and a fold-over cover to hold it all together. Here you see the part of the metal cutter that cuts into each wire. The metal cutter is mounted through an opening in the top with the existing truck wire in front and the new LED wire slipped in behind, both wires underneath the metal cutter. And then slip joint pliers are used to press the metal cutter from the top side to cause it to cut into both wires, effectively jumping them together. Press the fold-down cover of the connector in place until it clicks into position. Lastly, always tug on the connections to make sure they're firmly in place. Back at the truck, we're going to use the suitcase connector to jump the red wire to the striped wire on the backup light, since we now know the striped wire is hot. At this point, there's no need to have the truck switch on or shift it into reverse. Repeat the suitcase connection and jump the black ground wire from the LED to the black wire coming off the backup light. If I've done this correctly and the connections are solid, the new LED should illuminate as soon as the backup light comes on. To button up this side of the project, place the brake light back into position and turn it clockwise. And then place the backup light into the lens and turn it clockwise. Funnel the wiring into position and replace the lens, taking note of the alignment pins shown earlier. Replace the top 8mm lens bolt. And then the bottom one. Once you have the left side LED wired in the same fashion as the right, replace the left side lens in the same manner. Now I have one more step to tidy up this project, and that is to apply this wire wrap or loom to the loose wire underneath. Wire wrap, although round, has a cut all the way down the length to allow for placement of loose wires inside. Let me show you. Once cut to length, I began by taking my fingers and opening the cut portion of the wrap. I then take the black and red wires and place them inside, working my way downwards. Although this is not a fast operation, the end results I think are worth it. Once I have some of the wrap completed, I push it up into the back of the taillight opening. I am working my way downward all the way to the back of the new LED. Once completed, I search out a location I can use to wire tie the wrap out of the way. This is a place I used before when mounting the backup camera, so this will be one attachment point, and here at the top will be another. Shown here is the wire wrap, neatly wire tied at its final location. And now witness the final result. The trailer receptacle is now highly illuminated and easily visible from the backup camera related to the before photo, and this project is complete.